It's real easy, folks. 10 reps every hour or every other hour. That's all you need to do. It's what you've been told to do if you've been prescribed McKenzie Press-ups for your back, butt, and or leg pain. And I don't know why we prescribe that. I don't know why we tell people to do that, because somebody many eons ago, that's just what they recommended. And well, that's what we do in this world. Just follow what everybody else is recommending, right? Instead of figuring out what's best for us. So maybe you're trying these McKenzie press-ups because you've been told you have a herniated disc and it's the best exercise, right? And this is what you've been given. This is what you've been prescribed. And you're following that to a T. Drop and give me 10 every hour and or every 2 hours to improve motion, reduce pain, etc. But now your back is killing you, or it's backfiring. What's going on here, and what do you do about it? Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Charlie Johnson. I'm a physical therapist. I help people all around the world with back, butt, and sciatica problems learn to fix themselves using the power of the mind and movement as medicine. So check out the video. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and hopefully you gain something from this if you're trying McKenzie press-ups and now your back is on fire. Just do 10 of these bad boys every couple hours or every hour, and it'll push the jelly back into the donut. That's what you're told. But here's the thing. We don't even know if that's what's happening. We don't really know why these things help lots of different people. But we do know that they make lots of people worse as well, all right? And so instead of just taking this prescription that you've been told to do and doing it, right, you need to find what works best for you. So if you're doing these McKenzie press-ups, you might have been led to believe that it's pushing the disc back into the donut. But again, we don't know if that's what's happening. But something else is also happening, all right? So as you press on up, what you're doing is you're bringing the joints in the back closer, all right? So if this is you laying on your belly, face down, ready to do your little press-ups, right? This is kind of a neutral spine. This right here is what's happening. You picture the bones in your lower back as sort of these, little boxes or squares, right? What's happening is as you bend up and back, you're actually causing compression of sometimes the disc, but compression of the joints, approximation of the joints, meaning you're bringing the joints in the lower back closer together. And you're doing that 10 reps every hour or 2 hours. That's a lot of repetitions. That could be 100 reps in a day, let's just say, right? And so you're repeatedly bringing the joints closer together and you're bringing them to end range. And so you're increasing how often those things contact each other. And if your back is killing you, most people are led to believe that as they're doing the press-ups, that they're getting this centralization effect. And the reason that the back is feeling worse as you do these press-ups is because you're centralizing the pain. And while that may be true, just to be clear, centralization is the movement of pain from further in the leg to the back, right? So let's just say she's doing these press-ups, right? She started with pain here. And then as she's doing them, she notices it here. And now she's like, oh man, this is great. My leg pain is better, but my back is killing me. And that actually is a good sign. But because people have this belief that that is what's happening, right? And or they chase it, and they often chase it too aggressively, 10 reps every hour, 10 reps every 2 hours, is as they're doing these press-ups, they're like, oh, that's a good thing. My back pain is worse. That's what they told me should happen. But as they continue to do that and they realize like, yeah, this was helping me, but now my back is killing me. And so what happens is you're irritating the heck out of the joints in your lower back if you're doing these things at a prescription that is not right for you. So the first thing I would recommend is that you change how you're doing it. Go at it a slightly different way. And I found that this way tends to work a little bit better for people. For whatever reason, I have my theories, but here is another way that you could go about still achieving the same end motion, but often with less stress to the joints in the back and or at least perceived stress. Oftentimes it just feels like a yummier motion. So instead of starting from the floor, from an extended position or neutral position and pressing up into the stiffness, you're going to start on all fours and you're going to drop your hips towards the floor. Just like that. Right? And again, the same motion is achieved for most people, but since gravity is kind of helping you achieve the end range of the motion, it oftentimes creates a little bit less symptoms. Now, if it doesn't and the back still feels really cranky, then that's fine. Don't do that if it's yucky, all right? The second thing I would recommend is that you change the movement prescription. You change the dose, the frequency, or the timing. So any given movement, just like any given pill, has a certain prescription that you could sort of apply to it. So if you think of using movement as medicine, take that McKenzie press-up, put it inside of a little pill bottle, right? And optimize the dose, frequency, and timing for you. Probably is not 10 reps every hour, 10 reps every 2 hours. First things first, if you've noticed that much of your leg pain is gone, right, then why not do it like only when needed instead of 10 reps every couple hours? Why not do it only when necessary instead of continuing to push into things because that's what you were told to do, all right? Either way, manipulate the dose, how much you do it. Maybe you find that you only need 1 or 2 reps to take away any leg pain, all right? Maybe you manipulate the frequency. Instead of doing 10 reps, that's the dose, every 2 hours or every hour, maybe, 8 to 10 times a day, why not just do it like twice a day? And then think about the timing of when you're doing it. When are your symptoms the worst? And when do you find the press-up most helpful? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it before you get in the car? Is it after you get out of the car? Is it before you go to work? Is it after you've been sitting for a while? Is it before you go to bed? Think about the timing of when you're taking this medicine. When does it offer the most value, all right? And then take that McKenzie press-up, take that medicine, and do it then, and only then, all right? So just some things to consider. Again, if you're doing McKenzie press-ups to a T as prescribed by your therapist or whoever, or maybe you just saw it on YouTube, right? And you're noticing, man, my back is killing me. Maybe it's been killing you since the start, right? Or maybe you were doing it, it was helping you, and now you notice it's backfiring a bit. It's making me worse. It's probably making you worse because you are jamming the facet joints, so the joints in your lower back together repeatedly, and doing so at a very high level of repetitions throughout the day. And or maybe it is this centralization phenomenon. But at the end of the day, movement should be used as a means to an end, in the sense of if you're trying to resolve a pain puzzle, you want to approach using movement as medicine scientifically. You don't just take a bunch of random meds to take a bunch of random meds, all right? If you're using exercise to get in shape, that's one thing. You can do it as you want, right? But if you're using movement to resolve your pain, the goal is not that you have to do this for forever. The goal is to scientifically find the 1 or 2 things that work best for you. And if you're trying this and it's been somewhat valuable or it's killing your back, number 1, again, that's probably why it's killing your back, because of the joint irritation. And then number 2, think of using movement as medicine scientifically. Optimize the dose, frequency, and a time when you do it such that it makes sense for you. Maybe you respond to doing it just a couple times a day. Maybe, here's the other thing, right? If you love someone and you let them go and it was meant to be, they'll come back to you. At least that's what the saying is, right? And I think it's true, because the clearest way to tell if something is valuable for you is to drop it out. So why not try dropping out those McKenzie press-ups? It's early in the morning, my brain was going, so she helped me out. Why not try dropping out those McKenzie press-ups, right? And instead of doing them at all, give them up, let them go, and see what happens. And if you let them go and they were valuable, then you're going to notice, wow, man, my leg pain's starting to come back, and maybe things are a little worse, right? If you drop them out and symptoms get better in your back, then you know that they were helpful. But then at one point, they became your kryptonite. They became the thing that was actually keeping you from getting better, right? How cool is that? Now she's hiding around the corner. And if you have no difference in your symptoms when you drop them out, you're the same, well then, why would you do them, right? If doing them made you no better, and if not doing them doesn't make any difference, right? There's no impact or very little value at this point, all right? And so a lot of people don't recognize this about motion, right? They think they just have to do this stuff for forever. They have to do it exactly as prescribed. But the prescription is sort of fabricated. It's sort of made up. It's general, right? And so if the general dose, frequency, and timing of the McKenzie press-ups aren't working for you, then ditch it and find what works for you. And understand it's a little bit of an art as well as a little bit of a science. All right, so play around to find what works for you, but just wanted to shoot this video as it was on my brain, and lots of people come to me and say, man, I'm doing these press-ups, and my back is killing me. Should I keep doing them? Should I not keep doing them? And these are my recommendations and my explanations as to why this happened. So I'm not a 10 rep every 2 hour type of dude, because I think it's too general. It doesn't make sense for most people. Instead, we want to help you find what works for you, all right? All right, everyone, so that is it. This is Dr. Charlie Johnson. If you are interested in learning a process versus just a cookie cutter approach, right? A process that is repeatable and can be customized to you versus 10 reps every 2 hours because that's what everyone tells you should do, right? That's what Robin McKenzie years ago, I don't know how long ago, right, said should be done. And well, we just never questioned it for whatever reason. Then click the link above. You'll be directed to a free workshop that I've created that outlines a process and starts to give you some nuggets as to how you can begin solving this naturally in a very systematic and proven way. All right, thanks so much, everyone. Let me know your thoughts. Was this helpful in the comments? And I'll be sure to check them out. Thanks.